Boom. All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about how cannabis stocks are smoking hot right now. So, in news to none of you at this point, the cannabis sector absolutely exploded today. We have not seen price action like this. This is insane to see. We haven't seen price action like this since the original cannabis bubble back in 2018 when many of these names IPO'd. I'm not sure how many of you were around for that. I was. Very fortunately, it was a very lucrative period of time for me. Very fun bubble to play. Came out of it pretty safe, and again with a nice chunk of change. So I will always be grateful to the cannabis sector for that. I of course do believe in the fundamentals of the cannabis industry. It is the definition of a bleeding edge, early stage revolutionary industry, which, as many of you know, we love to cover on this channel. So from a fundamental perspective, I do really like the cannabis sector. The fundamental catalyst behind today's price action, if you want to call it a fundamental catalyst, is a little sus. It's a little sketchy, and of course we will get into that, understand what the fundamental catalyst once again behind today's price action was. So we will take a look at an article there to understand what's going on here, what's behind this crazy price action. And yeah, of course we will talk about that price action, take a look at the charts as well. So very excited to cover some of these names with you guys today. Let's get into it. As always, we'll quickly go over each topic we're going to be discussing, and we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, you guys know the drill, Trading View, where we'll take a look at the following names today in this order, going down the watch list. You can see here on the right, kicking it off with the biggest gainer of the day, Waves family. We were so well prepared for this one. Very fortunate. Again, I didn't see this coming. I didn't expect this to play out, but was very lucky to be positioned in some of these plays, the largest of which was Sundial. So we'll kick it off with Sundial Growers closing the day out 80%. I believe it's up close to 10% in after hours. We'll have to see if this continues over the course of the week, which again we will talk about, I should say, once we dive into some of these charts. But kick it off with the biggest gainer of the day, Sundial Growers. Insane price action. Again, up like 90% today. It's so crazy to see. We will talk about how it pretty much touched the moon. Okay, so moving on to the second biggest gainer of the day, Tilray. Tilray back in 2018, early 2019, because it did overlap a little bit, did reach an all-time high, which is crazy to think, of about $250. So we will go back in time. Again, if you guys aren't familiar with that bubble, we will go back in time a little bit, take a look at 2018, take a look at all-time highs, because if we do happen to see this second wave, this second bubble in the cannabis sector, a lot of those previous ceilings and floors, a lot of technical, there's a lot of things that you can look at on the chart that will give you an inclination as to where price action could go from here, all right? So Tilray, moving on to my single favorite play in the sector from a fundamental perspective. I think this is the best company among these as far as solvency, financials, and vision goes, is Aphria. So fortunately have been well positioned in Aphria for a while. Aphria calls have done me extraordinarily, and I hope to many of you as well, if you guys have been on this cannabis bandwagon over the past few months. So move on to Aphria, then go on to the single biggest, the largest company based on market cap in the cannabis sector, which is Canopy Growth. Canopy Growth, obviously, it's the largest company for a reason. It's a very solid company, very stable. We'll go into that. Keep in mind, you guys, the larger the company is, the less likely, the less exciting the price action is going to be, just because it takes more capital inflow to that stock to appreciate the individual share price. So talk Canopy Growth, CGC. Move on to Chronos. That's a play I really like in this sector right now. So we'll take a look at Cronos and then close it out with personally my least favorite play of all the above. But if you like it, I haven't done much due diligence on it lately from a fundamental perspective, but I've always been a little suspect of Aurora Cannabis in their practices and their financial practices and whatnot. But we will close it out with them because I assume some of you might be interested. This whole sector is exciting right now, and of course, you guys, I know there's a lot of other exciting plays in this sector. We're just going to be focusing on the big guys today. So of course, let me know down below what stocks you're excited about if we're not covering them today. So maybe I'll cover them in the future. Anyway, we will do that. Of course, talk price action, price targets, technical analysis on these. But first, we do have to understand, again, what was the catalyst behind today's insane price action. Business Insider article titled, Reddit traders are piling in cannabis stocks and driving up valuations, but experts say they're betting on the wrong companies. So we will go over this, again, written by Jeremy Burke. This is a great article, great thought piece here, and I think he has a lot of good points. Love this guy. I love this picture right here, the classic Wall Street bets, dude. Wait, you got to do like the fingers out with the shades on. Okay, so again, Wall Street bets, for those of you who don't know yet, was the driver I'm not even like they were the drivers behind today's price action. This is a crazy hive mind, you guys. This is an absolute phenomenon of just the democratization of information and just the power of the hive that is Wall Street bets. So very interesting to get into this one. We will read through this again to set the framework prior to getting into the technicals. And yeah, it's good for, of course, you guys, we spend a lot of time on the charts. I'm personally a very objective, very technically based trader, but you always have to know what's going on. You have to understand the fundamentals. Never just do one or the other. It's you got to find that perfect marriage of both. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do my best to do for you guys today. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. As always, before we dive into any of it, though, I will ask you to please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it today, or if you're eating good off some of these cannabis stocks, like many of us here at the Waves family are as well. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, want to join the Waves family, and of course check out my complete portfolio daily newsletter if you want to know exactly how I am trading not only these cannabis stocks, not only some of these exciting cannabis plays, but many of the other revolutionary sectors that we cover here on the channel as well. So biotechs, again, cannabis, cryptocurrencies, etc., EVs, all that good stuff. Again, just very, very exciting industries. Complete breakdown, all call options, put options, stock positions. I do update that portfolio every single trading day during market hours, and with every update I also send out a fairly comprehensive newsletter explaining my thoughts, rationalizing my trades, giving you guys some analyses, throwing some charts in there, and letting you guys know why I'm making the trades I'm trading. Again, it's never meant for you to copy. I need to make that very clear. Not financial advice. You guys know the deal there. But it's just letting you guys know what I do if you guys want to have an insight as to how how we've just had such a lucrative and just been so fortunate and blessed to have such an amazing year so far. So first link down in the description if you guys want to join the True Waves fam. I really do appreciate it. But if not, no worries at all. Let's get into this article, and then again we'll dive straight into the charts, talk some price action. Moving down here, online chatter in the Reddit forum Wallstreet Bets has turned pot stocks like Tilray, Aphria, and Sundial. Cannabis stocks have soared, buoyed by Biden's victory and Democrats' plans to federally decriminalize cannabis in the U.S. But investors say those looking to bet on U.S. legalization are looking in the wrong place. They should be investing in U.S. companies directly. So that's a very important fundamental statement here. Again, fundamentals, we'll throw those out the window because those don't matter at all right now. And they haven't for a while in all honesty. You guys know how this market's been acting. So from a fundamental perspective, I really like this because it makes sense. A lot of the companies we're going to be talking about today, Tilray, Aphria, so many of these plays are Canadian-based companies. So of course they will import to the U.S. They do benefit heavily from legalization in the United States, but it does make a lot of sense if you're actually looking to value invest in the cannabis space to look for U.S.-based cannabis companies, okay? Because, I don't have to explain why that is. That should be pretty obvious. The traders who hang out in the Reddit forum Wallstreet Bets have a new target as GameStop shares fell back to earth, and that is cannabis. Canadian cannabis stocks like Tilray and Aphria, which agreed to merge in the $4 billion deal in December, have surged since President Joe Biden took office, and top Senate Democrats have said they want to federally decriminalize cannabis. On Wednesday, Tilray gained 51% and Aphria jumped 11% respectively. Turned out to be a little bit more than that. Actually, no, that's right. You're right. Canopy Growth, a Canadian cannabis giant that reported earnings on Tuesday, advanced 6.3%, even though the company lost $829 million in the last quarter. Sundial, a smaller firm that cultivates cannabis, surged 79%. So again, you guys, this is not driven by solvency as a company, by sales, by revenue, by EBITDA, by any financial metrics. This is driven by that hive that is Wall Street Bets again. Okay, so that's very, very important to keep in mind with this rally. While experts say it's difficult to link online chatter directly to major market moves, it's clear the Wall Street Bets crowd has been focused on cannabis stocks. On Tuesday evening, Reddit user JCal920 posted a GIF of his Robinhood account showing that he made over $500K on his Tilray and Aphria shares since January 5th, along with emojis for trees meant to signify marijuana and rocket ships. The post has since received almost 12,000 likes and made it to Reddit forum's front page. Other posts touting cannabis stocks have racked up over 40,000 likes within hours of being posted on Wednesday. Swaggy Stocks, you gotta love some of these Reddit. You gotta love some of these Redditors' names, man. A website that compiles information from Wall Street Bets and other online forums about which stock users are talking about found that mentions of Tilray on Wall Street Bets are up 2,600% in the last 24 hours versus the 7-day average of about 270 mentioned. So, again, you guys, this is hype. This is FOMO. This is very obviously a bubble. The reason this is a little bit different than GameStop is because with GameStop, deep effing value found out through extensive research, which was actually a brilliant, he deserved to benefit off this because he spotted a flaw in the system. So with the GameStop thing, they were short squeezing out hedge funds. Hedge funds had a major amount of shorts on GameStop. And when you're shorting something and the stock goes up, you have to continue buying shares to cover your shorts. You have to cover your butt. Okay, so that's that catalyst. That's that snowball effect that drove GameStop so high. In this situation, maybe some hedge funds are shorting some of these, but in this situation, it's literally just a hive mind pumping an asset. It's the same thing that's happening with Dogecoin. It does not have the billions of dollars of capital in short interest to propel it that much further. It's literally just the interest of those who are buying the stock. So that's why it's very, very important to be careful with this one, because this is ultimately going to be a bubble. Again, you guys, I for those of you who don't know, many of you do know this. If you've been around, I built my career off capitalizing on bubbles, hype, FOMO, fear of missing out, just markets like these. I know I've been, this is my comfort zone. I know how these things play out. The duration, I have no idea of how long this could last. Maybe it ends tomorrow. Maybe it goes a week, maybe a month. Maybe this thing just keeps ripping. I don't know. But at some point, it's important to remember when this is just being pumped once again by the hive mind, there's an end game in sight. Okay, nothing lasts forever, nothing goes up forever, nothing goes down forever. But just keep in mind, you guys, this is 100% a bubble. It's inevitable that this is a bubble. These things aren't just going to go up and stay there and everyone cashes out at 10x their money. Okay, that's not how it works. All right, so be smart when you're addressing these stocks. I've never been on Reddit personally. I've literally never been on Reddit, this site. I haven't been on Wallstreet Bets. I've read articles like this talking about Wallstreet Bets, of course, for proper due diligence, but never been on Reddit. The Waves community, all of you guys, the Waves fam is seriously the only community I engage with in regard to trading, and that is enough for me. I'm very content with that. I'm kind of a boomer, a little old school in that way. I'm 25, but I definitely have some boomer tendencies like that. But again, to each their own. If you guys are part of it, that's sick. I love what's happening here. Again, the revolution and that is the democratization of just the markets, of information, of financial literacy, and of all this stuff. It's awesome. I love the movement. I love what it stands for. I'm not part of it, or I guess I am part of it because I'm myself a Robinhood trader, a retail investor. But again, it just sketches me out. It personally sketches me out a little bit. I don't like things like this. But again, to each their own. If you guys are trading, if you guys are making money, that's really all that matters to me. So again, cheers to that if you are. Anyway, let's move into the charts, the exciting stuff. So Sundial. Just after talking about it, obviously it's up 80% today, blasted straight through my initial price target, testing, breaking straight through, literally gapping through both price targets. I had my conservative price target and the price target that I did think was likely to come into play because we have been seeing so much momentum behind cannabis companies. But after today, it just completely blasted through that, went straight up to the moon up here. I literally just drew that in. But Sundial today reached a high of $3.05, which is absolutely insane, you guys. It's probably sitting around there in after hours, considering after hours price action, maybe even higher in all honesty. But yeah, straight up blast them up through my price target. Technicals at this point, you guys, don't matter. A lot of people, this is important. Okay, so a lot of people are going to be looking at, they're going to zoom out and they're going to see this and be like, oh my God, Sundial is so far below its IPO price. Sundial IPO'd at $13 and it's only at $3. It can easily go back up there. But it's very important to remember, if you guys have been watching these Sundial videos and watching some of the fundamental coverage I've done of Sundial, that Sundial has diluted their shares very, very, very significantly. So Sundial has a ridiculous amount of outstanding shares now because over the course of the past year, they've heavily diluted their shares. So when you make more shares, it makes your shares worth less. Okay, so the market cap is what's important to look at here. Sundial currently has a market cap of $3.2 billion with a daily volume of $2.6 billion. That is insane. So almost the full market cap, like 70% of Sundial's market cap traded today, which is always sketchy. That's always a good sign of a bubble right there. And again, it could still go a lot higher. $3 billion is still a relatively very small market cap, and there's a lot of shiny object chasers in this market right now. FOMO is very, very real in the 2021 market environment. So I do want to say I'm not getting technical at all here, aside from maybe my outside price target. But we could keep ripping again tomorrow till the end of the week, till Friday, till next week. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it's very likely it could last. Am I comfortable taking part of this at this point? I've already seen a lot of gains personally, and I'm already very, again, don't get greedy. I covered this yesterday. Don't get greedy in these markets. If you're seeing a 10x, just just be smart. Make the smart, responsible decision. Don't be like 20x. I can 20x this. I can 50x it. Maybe you can, but again, please just practice responsible risk management. Take some profits off the table here and there. Because again, this is a bubble. This is 100% a bubble. So on the downside, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sundial use the previous line of resistance that it blasted straight through as new support. TA 101 right there, previous resistance on a long-term uptrend will act as new support. If Sundial comes back down to like the 220 area, say we hit it by February 17th, by next week sometime, that would be like the 220 area. And maybe at that point, I'd be a little comfortable maybe establishing a position in Sundial, but at this point, because again the fundamentals are just not there, it's just again once again that hive mind mentality, I'm pretty skeptical on this entire sector at the moment after today's rally. Again, that's not to say that they can't keep climbing. We've seen it before, so maybe we could see it again. I don't know. Tilray again also popping off. Tilray, so a few of these plays actually look like this. Aphria also looks like this. I'm not going to talk about where Tilray can go on the upside because it's complete speculation at this point. You know, we'll go to the daily just to show you guys what Tilray did back in 2018. Once again, if you're not familiar. So this was 2018, you guys. This is when Tilray first IPO'd. So I'll let you guys know that I bought Tilray around here at $20. It went up, it went down a little bit. It was fluctuating over here in this area. I bought Tilray like right when it IPO'd. Went up, went down, and then we went from $20 to a high of $300. Okay, it was $300. I remember getting out of my Tilray position at like, I think like 240-ish or like 245 or something like that. I remember it pretty vividly. Went up to a high of $300. Absolutely insane. But again, $20 to $250. That's a 10x right there. And again, if you have call options on this, these can go absolutely ballistic. So I'm not saying it's not possible. We've seen it before. Maybe we'll see it again. But it just sketches me out at this point, like, especially because again, it's not even people really backing the fundamentals of cannabis. Maybe people like at the time it was so exciting because this was the first company to go public on the New York Stock Exchange, which was Tilray, so there was just so much hype behind it. The market at that time wasn't actually that exciting, so that was another catalyst. People just wanted something exciting. But right now there's so many exciting sectors in the market that I think we're just going to keep going from crypto, EVs, cannabis. I think it's just going to be a cycle of all these revolutionary industries that are just going to see shine. So I think bubbles are going to be way more rampant in 2021 than they've ever been, but I also think that they're going to be much more short-lived because they're just going to be cycling through each other. Okay, so again, to keep that in mind, that's obviously not 100%. That's just kind of my speculation here, just observing the market environment right now. So we'll see if that happens. It'd be cool if it does. Anyway, my price target on the downside for Tilray, say we hit it at the beginning of March. Aphria looks very similar to this, using the line of support on this short-term uptrend beginning at the beginning of January, and this is actually a very significant. If they do intersect right here, if it does come down here to intersect at these 2 points, which would make sense to me. Again, maybe it comes down tomorrow, maybe it comes down way sooner than that, next week. It would take us down to about $28. So if Tilray came down to $28, I think at some point it's very likely that we do see this line tested. So $28 Tilray, I'd be comfortable establishing a position there, and then prior to continuing the rally, because again, I think this is all just going to work in cycles. So that price target for Tilray on the downside is $28 to $30. $30, I'd be fairly comfortable. That's over a 50% correction from here, obviously. Aphria. Moving on, Aphria, again, my favorite play from a fundamental perspective. I love this. I think this company is the most solvent of all the companies that we're talking about today, and that's why I really like it. Again, from a value perspective, who am I to dictate value? What is even value anymore? But again, Aphria is actually a good company. So, in my opinion, Aphria, pretty much same thing, upside price targets. Keep in mind, you guys, this purple line right here is where was my initial price target for Aphria. Aphria did IPO at a price around here, and we've seen it go ballistic. Aphria, again, is a good company, deserves to grow. So my price target on the downside for Aphria, I'm not even going to talk about the upside, guys. I don't know how high these are going to go. We'll see, but my downside price target for Aphria very similar to Tilray in the sense that we use this long-term line that was once resistance on the longer term uptrend, broke through that. Again, it makes sense that it would use this previous resistance as new support or support on the current uptrend, okay, which would take us again to about $17 if we hit it at the beginning of March. If we hit it tomorrow, that'd be about $16. So I just say conservatively $17, that would come up to test these highs right here just over a week ago. in early February right here. We spent some time around this area. So $16 to $17 would make a lot of sense in my mind to see a pullback in Aphria. And at that level, I would be very comfortable buying because, again, I'm very fundamentally bullish on Aphria. Canopy Growth, CGC. Okay, so CGC, again, because you're going to see it's up 6%, significantly less impressive, the only not double-digit clubber of today. Canopy Growth, because it is a large company, I believe $20 billion-ish. So yeah, $19.66 billion market cap, significantly larger. Many of these other plays have like $2 to $5 billion market caps. At this point, maybe after today it's a little higher, but Canopy Growth is the largest of these public cannabis companies with a $20 billion market cap. It's going to take significantly more capital inflow to appreciate the individual share price, which is important to remember if you want to look for a runner. That's why I like very small stocks. That's why micro cap stocks are fun to me. So Canopy Growth not looking super exciting to me right now. I think it could definitely rally. I think it definitely has potential, but again, this is not a play I'm almost even interested in talking about that much. Downside price target for Canopy, if we saw a pullback, would be about 40. Just say we hit it next week, would be about $42. So at $42, because Canopy is, again, it's the largest company for a reason. They have a lot going on. I think they're still unprofitable, I believe, but they have a lot going on. So downside price target for Canopy Growth, if you guys are interested in maybe a long-term position or something, $42. Again, you guys always draw all these trend lines for yourself. TradingView is the platform I use for those of you who may not be familiar. Always draw these trend lines for yourself. If I could do it, you can do it. And I want you guys to not be reliant on anyone, but do things for yourself and learn things for yourself, okay? So that is Canopy Growth. Moving on to Chronos Group. Chronos Group is actually looking like a pretty exciting play to me right now. So we are on the daily for Chronos Group. I think we've been on the daily, my bad, guys. But that's because specifically for Chronos, we really have to zoom out here. So Chronos has seen a little bit of... It's tough to say what's going on here with Chronos. So Chronos back here, I was so bullish, if you guys remember this. I was so bullish on Chronos right here, because we're printing a beautiful ascending channel. Let me know, you guys, if you were around for this, if you remember this ascending channel, because I remember this pretty clearly. Obviously, because we covered it for a long time. While I was around this area, I was so confident Chronos. I was so confident in this trade. Chronos was going to come up from 670 on the bottom side of this very nice ascending channel, come out to test the top side at about like maybe $10 by the end of the month, if that ended up playing out. Obviously, didn't. Took a tumble, went out. Again, this is a good example of previous supports being used as new resistance, so it works vice versa, you guys. Okay, new support or old support, new resistance, old resistance, new support. Jeez, scuff that one. Anyway, and you can see it come bounce up. Once it broke up, it saw a little rally here, broke back down, broke up, back in the ascending channel. So it would make a lot of sense to me for Chronos if we do see a pullback to like the 1380 area to test, again, the previous line of resistance on the ascending channel. Use it as new support. If Chronos comes down to about 1385, what's Chronos market cap right now? Chronos is currently at a market cap of $5.5 billion. Not very big. Chronos is a cool company too. They have some cool stuff going on. I believe they're still not profitable yet either. I believe they have a negative earnings per share, but they have some cool stuff going on. Again, I've been following these guys for a long time, guys, so I just kind of have a general idea of what these companies do. We're not going to get into that today, but again, I do like Chronos. Chronos has always been one of my favorite plays in this sector personally. And again, 1390, might be interested in picking some up because, again, we could very well see a rally. What was Chronos' high back in? So back in 2018, actually this is 2019. So yeah, again, 2018, beginning of 2019 is when all this happened. Chronos had a high of $25. So it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't be super crazy to me if we did see Chronos come up to those levels, if we do happen to see an insane rally. But we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. Again, the top side price targets are tough. Again, I almost don't even want to go back in time, but because we didn't do this on Tilray, sorry guys, like this, just for the example, just to show you guys how I do it. Just like use this area. This is a very safe area. This initial high way back here in September of 2018. It spent a lot of time around here. Obviously, like a significant. Oh, that's exactly where we came up to. Okay, so I think it's very likely we see a pullback in Chronos from here because that's meeting up almost exactly with where we're at right now, or the high we reached today. So I think we probably see a pullback in some of these names. If we do happen to go up, my next price target would be like 1780, and then obviously up here, like maybe around here 2150 area, because this is just this general range, just where there's a lot of price action for an elongated period of time, you guys, is usually a pretty safe area to look for ceilings and floors. Okay, works both ways, support and resistance. Finishing off with, again, my one of my lesser favorite plays in this sector, which has seen by far the most volatility of any of the cannabis stocks. Aurora Cannabis reached a high of $150 back in October of 2018, and then it dropped to a low earlier this year, pretty recently, honestly, of $3.60. So that is probably the most insane correction of any asset of all time. But again, Aurora Cannabis is almost reaching its high that it set back on May 9th. Hey, my birthday, May 19th. So it's high on May 19th of about $20. It's almost there. I expect it to see some resistance around there. But hey, if we break above that, I think Aurora Cannabis actually has a lot of trade potential, just because, again, it's seen such insane volatility over the past couple of years. So Aurora Cannabis has a market cap of $3.5 billion, pretty small, the same size as Sundial, honestly. Aurora Cannabis, the reason I've never liked it is because their financials have always been pretty scuffed. They've always been significantly bad with their, notably bad with their financials. So that's why I personally never traded them. Again, who knows what can happen from a technical perspective, but if we do happen to break out here, if we do happen to see a breakout, again, maybe see some resistance around here, maybe around here, up here, like right here. But ultimately, I think Aurora's high at the end of this rally, again, if we continue to rally, would be around this area. So again, acted as a very significant ceiling on this bounce over here, spanning almost a month. It was this initial low back here, way back in August of 2018. That lines up perfectly with this. So my price target for ACB would be about $47, just $47, call it, to say it conservatively. Again, if we do continue this rally, if we do happen to pop up. And again, you guys, I want to make it very clear. I don't know how long this rally is going to last. Maybe it lasts, maybe it doesn't. These cannabis stocks have already, over the past month, been ripping pretty hard. That's usually a pretty long time for a bubble. So just be cautious. If my money's on what I'm saying right now, so my money's on this. I think that this won't last long. I think that we're gonna, like I said earlier, cycle from a bubble, a short-term bubble in cannabis, and then a short-term bubble in crypto, and then a short-term bubble in EVs and biotechs, and then literally just cycle bubbles. I think there's going to be way more bubbles, but I think they're going to be more short-lived. I think they're going to be a lot less exciting, and I think they're going to be just dispersed amongst pretty much those four sectors probably over the course of the year, if I'm being completely honest. So that's what my money's on. That's why it's super exciting to cover these sectors. So again, you guys, if you're still watching, I would really appreciate it if you'd subscribe if you're not already. Very exciting times in this market, and I could not be more stoked to be on this roller coaster ride that is the stock market in 2021 with all of you guys, the Waves family. So I appreciate you. Please let me know down below what your favorite stock we talked about today was. Again, if there are any stocks here, if there are any cannabis plays that you're excited about right now that we didn't talk about. Again, I know I've played many cannabis plays in my life. At this point, these are the only ones I'm going to focus on, especially because I know these are the big dogs. These are the ones that many of you are looking at as well. So again, always love learning from you guys, talking shop with you guys. So I'll catch you downstairs in the comments. Until next time, always remember, take action. Make waves. Peace.